Let's start with JPA today. JPA stands for Java Persistence API. This deals with your database communication in Spring Boot. So it is a extension of Hibernate. So what we would achieve using Hibernate, we can achieve it in a much better way using JPA. Now these are the different classes which we will have in JPA, and this is the flow of the program. So first, the client, through the client machine, will open a browser, or if we are testing the web service, we'll use Postman, and we'll mention the server machine address with the port. Apple is the application name, register customer is the web service, and we'll pass the arguments. Now I am trying to save this data, so I will accept the employee number, employee name, salary, and save this data in a database table. This is what I'm trying to achieve. So I will have a table called as EMP. My database is MySQL. In that I will have, let's say, 3 columns: E name and salary. So I'm accepting the E number, E name, salary from the user. Okay, now when the user clicks on submit, first we have to go to the controller class. So the controller class, we'll go to the function which is marked with the class which is marked with request mapping Apple. The request mapping Apple. In that we'll go to a method which is annotated as request mapping register customer. So this is your request mapping register customer, and the function name is register. Okay. Now this data, which when I will click on save, this data will be saved, and I just want a plain response of saying that status of the query. So it should show status as true and give me a message saying successful. I just want this as a response. So for this I make a response class. So we can make various response classes as per the expected response. When I want, let's say, to see list of all customers, list of all employees. So if I have, let's say, 2-3 employees in my database, 101 Alice, 800 102 Ben, 900 103 Charles, 1000. So if I want a web service which will display me list of all employees, so instead of register employee I will say Apple view all employees. So this view all employees will not return me message status true or message successful. It will return me the list of all employees. For that I have a different response class which will display me, it will return me the list of employees. So my response class will response what type of response I'm expecting. Depending on that I will make a response class. So now I'm expecting a simple response, status true and message successful. So for this I have a response class response which has boolean status and string message, and then getter setter methods. So get and set the status and get and set the message. Okay, so first thing first, so once I click on the save button, we'll go to the controller, we'll go to this class Apple and this method register customer. Okay, now in this, every database table has a entity class has a entity class. So now we have a class employee. So we have a table employee in the database. This table employee will have an entity class, as your employee class. So first we need to make the entity class employee, which will have the same whatever data I am passing will have those many properties: employee number, employee name, salary, getter, setter methods. Okay. So if I have a class customer, I'll have an entity class customer also. If I have a class any other class teacher, so I'll have a, if I have a table teacher, I will have a entity class teacher. Whatever columns are there, those will become the data members of that class entity. Okay. Now in the controller method, first thing what we have to do is make an object of this entity class. Make an object of this entity class. So I will make an object of entity class employee. E is new employee. So now this is my E object. This is my E object. Okay, just assume this to be my E object. So I have made object of that E, and now as E is object of employee class, it will have what? E number, E name, and salary. This E number, E name, and salary I am getting from where? From the URL. From the URL, it will go where? In the request params. It will go in the request param C name. So whatever request params I am getting, using this E, I will call those many setter methods. I will call those many setter methods. So COE. I will call those many setter methods. So this has come over here. Now C name. Now I'll make object of the customer class. So in my case the entity is customer. In my case the entity is your customer. So if in my case the entity is customer entity. So the customer entity. So in my controller I'll make object of the entity and then call all the setter method using those objects. Call all the and pass these arguments to the setter methods. So I will pass these arguments which I am taking in the URL to the setter method. Now once my object is ready, so my object is ready with this data, then my object will be ready with this data. And now make an object of the response class. What type of response you are expecting? So I am expecting response of type 1. So I made a response class response. This is class employee data response. So I will make a object of the response class. So response is new response. Okay. And now what I will do is, you have these two different classes, the server class and the repository class. Repository class is very simple. You have to make an interface by the name of employee repository, whatever name you wish to give. It will extend the JPR repository. JPR repository is an interface which has all these methods of database. So if you want to insert into a database, it has the save method. If you want to select all, if you want to select star, select all. So for that it has find all methods. So all those methods relating to the database are there in this repository, JPR repository. As we are extending, so as my interface employee repository is extending JPR repository, all these methods come into my class, my interface also. So all these methods, save, find all, have come in my employee repository. This is the job of repository, nothing else. No coding in this, just simple. What we do is interface customer repository extends JPR repository, and this is the name of the class, the entity class, and the what type of primary key. So in my primary key is customer number, so it is of type integer, and this is the entity class. This is my entity class, customer. So just pass this as argument. Nothing much in this. Means what type of, okay. Now your service interacts with the repository. So we will always invoke the methods of the service class. The service will then call these methods save and find all. So from the controller we will first make an object of the service class. So if you see in the controller, we have made a auto-wired object of which class? Of the service class. Employee service. This is that employee service, and we have auto wired it. So this object has been created by auto wire. Now using these, so before in the controller class, make a auto wired object of the employee service. Now in the service class, we will have a method called as register employee, and this register employee function will then call the save function in the JPA repository, which will take argument as an object. So I need to pass an object to it. So my register employee will accept a, so what is the entity which we have mentioned in the repository? Employee. So we will have object of which class over here? So register employee will have object of employee class. This object will be passed to the save. So whenever we will call the register employee, we have to pass the object of employee class. So now whenever I will call register employee, I will pass the object of the employee class. So I will pass this E over here. So this 101 Alice 800 object will be passed to register employee in the service, and it will come over here in the register employee as an argument, and then this E will be sent to the save function in the JPA repository, so the data will be saved in the table. This is how it works. So these are all the tables which we will be needing. So the entity table, the entity class, service class, repositories and interface, whatever sort of response you wish to give. So once this data is saved, I'll write this in try catch. If it is successful, then I will return the status as true and message as success, else I will say false and not success. So in the controller I will go. So once I make object of response, so the default constructor will set, the default constructor of response will be status false and message as unsuccessful. So if I go to my response class, so the default constructor is setting what? Status as false and message as not successful. So this is there in the object now, in the response object. But okay, now but as this is successful, I'll change the status to true and message to successful, and then I will return this response. So this response is of which type? Customer response. So my method register is taking argument of, giving argument of customer response type. And now this customer service annotated object over here, I will call which method of that? Register user. So I'll go to service, and I will call register user and pass argument of that class. So this is how your JPA program works. Everything is there in the controller. This is the main heart and soul.